So guys, today in Just of Christmas, and since you guys have now seen our different top five and top six top gift ideas, now we're going to be taking a look at our each one of us, Ashley and I's top one gift idea. Now with the top 5-6 gift ideas, that was more inexpensive stuff, more kind of like stocking stuffers. Now we're going to be getting into that one gift idea. This is going to be that one kind of more expensive gift if you're looking for something more expensive, or none of those stocking stuffers really fitted your fancy, or you didn't really need something like that. This is what this video is about. So starting with Ashley here, she's going to be showing you guys what her top one gift idea is, and then I have a couple myself, or really the top one and then the top, I have them over here so you guys can't see, but my top one and a runner-up. So without any further ado, Ashley now will take you guys over her top one and why it is her top pick, and why she thinks this would be an excellent idea for any of you gear-savvy girls out there.
And before we get into this, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more of this Christmas Alaskan awesomeness.
That is true.
I love how you forgot that. That's great.
I was anyway.
Okay, so before I even really get into this, you guys probably already know where this is going. Of course, I'm going to be talking about the Spyderco Matriarch, because lately this seems to be the topic of conversation, if you will, as far as gear goes for me. I do recommend the Spyderco Matriarch as like a Christmas gift for girls and guys alike, but also like girls. Especially girls, I would say. Because, I mean, we live in a world that's pretty dangerous, not that respectful of women ever. Like, these days it's better, but still it's like... Well,
even still, there's a lot of human trafficking going on.
There is.
Especially in places like California or more populated cities and really states. There's a lot of human trafficking going on.
Girls and young ladies, it's like, this is like the knife you could possibly want to have.
I think what's really great about the Matriarch is I actually read a little bit about the history of the Matriarch, we both did, and they're actually designed for women, or they were designed for women in South Africa, because once again, the sex trafficking, it's getting more prevalent here in America, but it has been very prevalent in Africa for a long time. And actually one of South Africa's contacts for Spyderco worked with Spyderco and South African women to design this Matriarch for defense of those women, and so that they could stop people from taking advantage of those women violently and physically. So.
And how I thought it worked best was because it's a very long knife, yes, but if you look, the thickness, it's not very thick. It's very thin. And the clip, I mean, I think if you were to steal one of the Benchmade Adamas deep carry clips and put it on here, it'd make it even better to conceal. But I mean, the way it fits, it's like you can fit it in anything. It clips down real nice to just about any material. Even, I know a lot of ladies like to wear yoga pants. It's like it clips into a pair of yoga pants. You can activate.
Or you can explain it so that not so much does it like go into the yoga pants pockets, but even if you don't actually run this in pockets, because it's so slim, she actually rocks it a lot behind the pant line. So
in the waistband, like
so if you guys saw her EDC Essentials, where she showed you guys where she actually sometimes carries it in the waistband, it still deploys with the Emerson Wave just like normal, but she can carry it right there in the waistband. And so, because this knife, make no mistake, it is a bigger knife, that the handle alone is 5+ inches, so this isn't something that you're going to be able to fit in a lot of feminine pants, but you can slip it in your waistline, and it actually still conceals really well, and
under a belt it does,
or even just as is. It's a really low printing option.
And even with thinner material, which I found very awesome, was like, you think, oh, it'll only like pull it out on thicker material, right? Well, actually no, even like stretchy, flexible, thinner material, it still just whipped it right out real good, you know?
So anyways, another thing that I really like about the Matriarch, and that we both liked about the Matriarch, was the fact that it's not a gun, so you can carry it in a lot of places that guns aren't legal. So if you're going into a building, or once again things like college, it's a really nice tool to carry, because in most colleges guns are banned, but knives are not banned, and so it makes a really nice, discreet, and defensive option.
And I can tell you right away, this thing is extremely sharp. I mean, you don't want, if somebody grabs you in a dark alley, you can deploy this thing like lickety-split real fast, and then you can just bring it up and slash, and that's what it's made for.
Or just slash right
wicked.
across their body.
Exactly. It's made to cut through materials and flesh really fast. So I do recommend this, not only because it would be just a really super cool Christmas gift to have. I mean, it is pretty cool, but because it's also a useful one, a one that can keep you safe in a deadly situation, especially for young women or older women. Any woman.
Really.
I mean, even a younger woman. I mean, not like a child. You don't want to get this for a child, but somebody who's savvy with knives at a younger age, young teens, tweens. I mean, if they're savvy with knives, this would be a great stocking gift.
Especially if they live in a larger city, something like Portland, Oregon.
These actually are legal in California, strangely enough.
I don't know if they're completely
They are,
legal.
Because my friend in California
As a matriarch? Oh, okay,
she looked them up and was able to get one legally. See, these are actually legal in California.
I didn't even know that.
Yep, I know. I thought that was really interesting. It's like you can get these just about anywhere.
It has a nice short blade length, and that's kind of the advantage over the Spyderco Civilian. Is that shorter blade length increases the legality of this knife. It's legal in more places because it has a shorter blade, but it's still every bit as fierce as the Spyderco Civilian. Anyways, that's her top one, and now we're going to shift over to my top one and my runner-up. Okay guys, so now moving over to my top one, and I think the Spyderco Matriarch was better suited for women and definitely ladies in your life. If you guys want them to be more prepared and more just having a better capability to take down any aggressors. But moving over to males, we generally run different things, so we don't need a matriarch, though matriarchs are nice. So anyways, for my top one, and I'm going to be rolling in close-in pictures of both of these knives because I realize they're a little bit far away, but my top number one is actually the Riate Event Horizon. I got this knife and I've really been digging it. I was really kind of for the longest time staying away from Chinese folders because I wasn't sure quite their quality levels and everything, but I've been playing around with this one, cutting open boxes and just doing stuff with it overall, and it's a very smooth action. It's a little bit not quite as smooth out here in the cold because this is a full metal body and it's beginning to freeze up a little bit, but it is very smooth, especially indoors. Trust me, this does not have this difficulty of deploying indoors, but everything's starting to freeze up out here. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but this knife is super smooth for flipping, and it has a really nice action. It's a pretty thick and hefty blade. It's actually a lot like the Chris Reeves Sebenza. It's full titanium knife, S35 VN, and it can be had. It's only unfortunately a Blade HQ exclusive, but you guys can check Blade HQ for these things. They're very reasonably priced. I got this one on a Black Friday sale for like $99, which was really amazing for this being full titanium, black wash finish here. So it has its high spots are polished or satin, and then it has a black wash finish, has a type of tanto blade to it, S35 VN, which has been holding up pretty well so far. Don't have a huge amount of test on this S35 VN, but it seems to be pretty good. And
one thing you did notice right off the press about that knife was how comparable it really was to the Sebenza, especially with the locking mechanism.
Yes, it is also a frame lock. One thing I will note that's different from this and the Sebenza is something that I kind of like about this knife more than the Sebenza, and that is because it has a hardened steel insert on the actual lock face, which this is something that you guys can see up close, not really from here, but it has a hardened steel interface, so the actual spot of contact on the steel is hardened steel on the frame lock, and this basically just means that you won't get a lock stick like with my Sebenza. It's not bad lock stick like the Sebenza. It's not impossible to move it over, but there's a noticeable, because titanium is a softer metal than hardened steel, there's a little bit of lock up there, so you have to really push it over meaningfully. Unlike on this, because you have a hardened steel interface here and here, it goes over effortlessly. They're all metal blade, and this is my second choice here, and this is a little bit more of a tactical option, and this is the Benchmade AFK. This is also a really nice, awesome knife, very thickly built. I'm setting it down right now. I'm gonna put my mittens on first.
Probably a white.
So now I have it in my mittens and you can barely see it, but This is a really awesome knife. The AFK is it's a little bit more pricey knife. This is around $220.
Yeah, my hands aren't that cold, I can take it.
Okay, it's around $220, and the AFK is a really nice, solid auto, I should say. It's not just a folder, but it's an actual auto, and so it's a very nice knife. This one does have serrations on it, which is not my most favorite, but they're actually pretty hard to find without serrations. I would definitely recommend and encourage the serrations, or the non-serrated rather, as opposed to the serrated, and as it falls out of her hand.
Yep, my hands are getting cold too, but I tried.
Okay, I tried. Anyways, this thing is also pretty cold, and it is not firing as fast. Seriously, these all-metal knives, they do slow down once they get out into the cold. This one's not firing as fast as it normally does, but because it's
normally
cold.
That thing does fire pretty fast.
Yes, it fires fast, it fires hard. And if you want to get someone some higher-end, high-quality knife that they're going to be able to have for years and years. Anyways, guys, these are my two top picks. The Riate Event Horizon, definitely number one, and then the Benchmade AFK. They're pretty fun knives, pretty high-end, and really enjoyable. Anyways, guys, that's all. God bless.
And we're out.